Hi there. Are you feeling unsettled personally or feeling like the world around you is unsettled? I know that I am, and that's what I wanted to talk about this week on Beyond the Threshold. I had originally planned to talk about something else, and I will get to that, but I was really feeling that air of unsettled around me this week, and so I decided this would be a more timely topic for us. And I wanted to start with an element of being unsettled that we have the least control over, which is the world around us being unsettled. And obviously, this can lead to empathy overload with worrying about so many things around us. And events that happen that are beyond our control can lead to this feeling of low grade tension. It can make us feel helpless, disoriented, and it can even make us feel guilty about working on our own goals and like it's first world problems or that kind of idea. And that's not going to help ourselves, and it's not going to help others or the events in the world that are making us feel unsettled. What we should be doing instead is focusing on what we can control. And that can start with something as simple as kind of getting grounded by focusing on our routine and focusing on cutting out things that are making us feel unsettled, such as maybe cutting down or cutting back completely on the news or social media. It's also a good time for us to define our goals or revisit our core values and use those to take small steps that can improve the world for ourselves and for others. And it can be things just as small as doing things that make you feel connected, bringing a smile to someone else's face, or volunteering in the community. Another way to take control in an unsettled world is to anchor ourselves. And we can do that in a few ways. We can do it with deep breathing exercises. We can do it with grounding or even earthing, which is what I like to do. I like to go and sit outside while it's still warm with bare feet in the grass. Another way is journaling, and I love doing that as well. And I would recommend journaling with a pen and paper because it's even more cathartic to get it out of your body, really, and onto the paper. And the idea of journaling is just to externalize those feelings of unsettledness. You don't have to solve it. And then another way, of course, is to curate connections with like-minded people so that you can feel like part of a community. Another way is to step back. So it's not necessarily ignorance. It's not ignorance. It's self-preservation. So you can create your own safe space. It could be a room, it could be a ritual. It could be just having a digital-free hour or a digital-free day. And so we can center ourselves before we move through this world that is unsettled. So we can be a settled part of an unsettled world. Feeling unsettled is not all bad news, especially when we're talking about personally feeling unsettled. That is often a signal that it is time for some growth, even though it can feel like difficulty focusing or restlessness or feeling like something is missing. This is often us being encouraged to move beyond our comfort zone. And you can ask yourself when you're feeling like that, what is causing this feeling? Which is what I did in 2015 when I developed an irrational hatred of recycling bins. Yes, recycling bins. Every Tuesday when it was recycling day and I would see them all lined up down the road, it would make me so angry. And so, of course, that seemed like a weird thing to be angry about. So I asked myself, what is causing this feeling? And it turned out that it wasn't the recycling bins, it was what they represented. And they represented a routine, and it was a routine that I was tired of. And so that led me to taking my adult gap year that I took. So I would encourage you to embrace the feeling and ask yourself, when was I last at peace? What excites me that I haven't pursued? And you can sit with it, journal with it for deeper insight. And then if you want to, you can take some micro movements forward. It doesn't have to be the great leap forward. You can read a book, take a class, or even just switch your perspective from, I don't know what's going to happen next to I'm open to what's going to happen next, which is what I did in June of 2023. And it was scary, and it still is a little bit scary. But that's what led me to creating this channel. This channel that I don't really know what's going to happen next, but I'm open to it. Also, being unsettled, as I said, led me to a great trip in 2015. And at the end of university, being unsettled led me to focusing in on what I wanted to do for my career, which I did and enjoyed very much for a very long time. And this last being unsettled has led me to this new step. So, being unsettled is a natural signal. It's not a warning, and it's a signal that you're at the threshold. So, unsettled is our first step. And welcome to Beyond the Threshold.